So here's the thing when you're mounted. Anytime you get mounted, you don't want your opponent's hands low either by your hips or down by your knees, because that's basically where they're going to put their hands if they're going to do like a hydraulic escape, a kipping escape, or an elbow escape, or a hip escape. So watch what I do to be able to get his hands up.
Ideally is always elbows down, right? But in that, yeah, there's nothing to protect the neck.
So anytime they keep their elbows down, basically it leaves their neck wide open. So one of the first things I'll do is I'll always attack the neck. Now, when I attack the neck, basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a credible threat, and I'm forcing him to basically move his hands off my hips and address it. Look how I create that credible threat.
What I do when I come in is just one hand will come in. I come in with a knife hand. And when I come in with a knife hand, I trace the chin and I cut the shoulder. Right now, if I start to put pressure, that's uncomfortable. But if you turn your chin the other way. Yeah, doesn't that feel a lot more comfortable for you? Mm-hmm. Right? So what I do to prevent him from turning his chin is once I come underneath, because I want to put my wrist, this part of my bone, this sharp part, I want it on his throat. Right? I want it right on his throat. I want it to be so uncomfortable, he has to address it.
So watch this little detail. This little detail is a game changer. Basically, when I start to attack his neck, I don't want him turning his chin. I don't want him to be able to turn his head to the side to be able to relieve that pressure. So look what I do with my elbow.
Right? And I know it's an easy, so I come here, hand comes in, and then look, my elbow kicks out a little bit. You guys see that? Turn your chin. Now,
so because I'm lifting my elbow, basically it locks his chin in place. He's not able to turn his chin. And then what I can keep doing is I can keep inching my hand, crawling my hand back towards the back of his shoulder, keep putting that pressure on his neck, on his throat. And what that's going to do is that's going to force him to take his hands away from my hips and away from my knees where he wants him to be able to escape. And it's basically going to grab and defend.
You feel that? So I can walk my fingers and I just lean my weight into my wrist, right? And if you don't pull that away, you're gonna tap. Yeah.
So it's a really easy defense, but that's the whole point. I want to create a credible threat. I want to force him to defend, and what it does is it forces him to take his hands away from where he needs them to be able to start setting up his escapes, and he starts to basically think about defense instead of escape.